Hello. Happy Sunday to everybody. Welcome back to Shadows of Nox. Thanks for hanging out with us again as we do another session of Call of Cthulhu, the Terror of the Ivory Throne. Tonight's session is session 11, and it is called The Village. I am Elizabeth. I am the keeper for this tale. As always, I will go over the content warnings for tonight. They're pretty much the same as they always are. Blood and gore, human sacrifice, visions, voices in your head, murder, occult practices. Occult practices are going to be really, really heavy tonight. There will be rituals in tonight's session. Amnesia, being eaten alive, my terrible pronunciation of things, and the being stuck on water is pretty much over for now. They are on dry land, but I'm still going to include drowning because you never know.
This is true.
It's fair.
Quicksand and all, right? Quicksand,
Exactly.
rivers, small, shallow puddles.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm a kid who I grew up during the 90s. Quicksand is everywhere. Quicksand is the number one killer of cartoon characters.
Exactly.
But we didn't die in
Very
the Bermuda
dangerous.
Triangle, so that's pretty good.
Well, we didn't pass through the Bermuda Triangle.
Maybe we're still there.
That you know of.
How do we know we didn't die?
Very odd kind of
Very true. This is very true. You
We've
don't
been
actually
dead
know that you're not
all
dead.
We
maybe
probably
none of
are
us
dead.
actually
I know,
left the
I know
museum.
we didn't
We're
die
all
because my
still in
good
the
friend
museum.
Abernath is here, and clearly he would have gone to heaven for his service and everything like that. So
Anyway,
Oh, I love
we're just
You
gonna
keep
cut that
telling
right off.
that one.
Right?
Keep saying stuff like that. I'm going to need to make your sanity roll.
So last session was once again spent on the yacht. Charlie had a weird dream that was actually a memory. She started to remember the events leading up to her waking up in the museum. And in this memory that she had, she also received a newspaper for an article that she had written, but she doesn't actually remember writing. And she woke up from this with an old scar on her arm that she doesn't remember. She didn't have before, as far as she knew. Very much like Dr. Byrne had on her arm. Michael was able to determine that it is potentially a very strong spell that is happening to all of these people. Something that would hide moments from their past from them. And he also brought up the idea that maybe the rest of the group is going to start having similar memories come back.
I mean, lose my memory and wake up with a scar? That's never happened. Oh wait.
Right.
Oh, wait.
We're going to go ahead and meet the players, and then we will jump right into tonight's session. I'm going to start backwards this time as I see everybody. So Lottie, you are up first.
All right. It's me, Lottie West. I'm off camera today because I have a little bit of a stomach bug, and I want to spare everybody from the eldritch horror that I am currently.
You're a divine goddess, and we will take no other answer. Go on.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I feel like an eldritch horror from the briny deep. Random thing, I excitedly got first runner-up at the Bristol Renaissance Fair steampunk competition yesterday.
Nice.
So if you like cool costuming stuff, you should check out my Instagram. It's at Lottie West. I post all my cool pictures from that. I'm also very involved here at Shadows of Nox. I am in the Power Rangers podcast where I play Cecily Adwell, and she's a Ren Fair obsessed. She's a Ren Fair brat. Blue Ranger. I do this, and then I also am in being villainous as Ermengarde Wise, who is a little goblin that if she kills you, it's a compliment because that means you're pretty. And tickets are almost sold out memberships, whatever. Badges are almost sold out for BCon, which is a Chicagoland LARP convention. And I'm the marketing director, so that means I'm doing my job well. So if you're interested, you've only got a little bit of time left. We only have like 10 tickets left. So get them while you can. Come hang out with me.
I wish I was in Chicago so I could join you.
I know.
One of these days,
So-
I will be there.
You should.
Lottie, who are you playing?
Who are you playing tonight?
Oh, right. I'm playing Dr. Priscilla Van. She's an archaeologist that's Australian, and she loves to tan on the dick. I said the dick. I have to say it. I feel like it's respect news.
All right, and Teslin, what about you?
I'm Teslan Kieranhawk. I am lawful good because somebody has to keep certain murder hobos in line. Won't say who that is, but and proof of it is I'm wearing a shirt that says so. I
So,
do a lot of stuff on Shadows of Nox behind the scenes, not as much as Isabits and John do, but a bit. I'm also in 2 or 3 of our streams, depending on the week. I play in this one. I play Theodorus Zamis, a soldier of fortune and private investigator who who is coming along to keep Charlie safe, which is a full-time occupation and stress insanity loss inducing. I have done it tonight because of how she was acting before. I got her blind drunk, and she is sleeping it off during the events of this game. But tomorrow night I'll be playing Forrest Flanagan, another soldier who is a bodyguard trying to keep Ava Rogers' character alive, which I seem to be running a theme here, aren't I? Okay. So on Tuesday nights, not this week, but in general, I GM Shadowrun here on Shadows of Nox, and on Thursday nights I also GM it on games that are kind of linked. And in those games, I don't try to keep people alive. It's actually work on killing them. But I think that
We're
covers
not on
everything.
Thursday games.
That's on Gen Con,
Oh,
right?
that's right.
Your Thursday night?
The Thursday night game is at 8 o'clock Eastern, and the Tuesday games, when we have them, are at generally 7 o'clock Eastern, so we can all get some sleep.
What a sleep.
This is very true.
Yeah, well, it's that thing you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get 8 hours of it a day. Speaking of somebody who doesn't sleep, Andrew.
Yeah, what's that? Anyways, my name is Andrew Bryant, or Roadkill in various internet gaming circles. Tonight, I am playing the graduate student Michael Dotson, who's been trying to educate himself to become a parapsychologist to uncover the secrets of the universe, as we all do, right? And
No, we
has
don't.
lately, right, and has lately been spending a lot of his time reading up very many books on trying to do just that, and barely keeping a grip on his own sanity.
Which is why most of us don't do it.
Right. Thankfully, it's still there, as far as he knows, and he's still trying his best to be there for the group and provide what help he can. Other than
Lately,
that,
it's a form of therapy.
yes. I ran a form of group therapy, which seemed to help everybody out at least a little bit in one way or another.
Oh, sure.
Um,
So
first
much.
successful therapy session, not being a doctor of any kind.
Yeah.
But I had a textbook with me, so we could figure it out.
There you go. Yeah, it's fine.
Such a bad idea. But other than that, of course, tomorrow night, Monday night, in the game that Teslin is playing, Forrest Flanagan, is Echoes of the OSS, another Cthulhu game shown by Shadows of Nox. That'll be titled, at least that specific tomorrow's stream, would be titled The Red Queen, in which our group will hopefully put aside the craziness that they may or may not have affected their own past by reliving a memory of it. And we'll hopefully be able to finally track down and capture a potential Soviet spy. So it's good times, espionage mixed in with mythos. So, if you don't go crazy, you would just go, you know, deeper into paranoia surrounded by spies. So it's good times.
All right. And John.
Hello, everyone. My name is John McDonald, and tonight I'm bitter that my late in life banana allergy means I'll never get to have banana bread again.
No.
So that's the thing I'm
That is
bitter
sad,
about tonight that I'm bringing to the game
Into the
this
character,
evening.
yeah. Motivation there.
Yes. Um, I'm excited to be here, as I always am when I'm here at Shadows of Nox. If you recognize my voice, perhaps you've been here on Wednesday night, either for what is currently the Rise of Silver mini saga with Power Rangers Centurion. The first of the two-parter happened last week, or this upcoming week will be the release of a Power Ranger podcast episode, of which several players are actually here in this very room. The fools, the very fools they are. I really enjoy getting to live my Power Ranger fantasy here at Shadows of Nox. I'm also very excited because next week is the premiere episode of Summer School, which is my Walking Dead meets Glee thing that I've created that I've suckered some people into. I don't know how I managed to do that, but it's going to be a fun Friday night for all. There's also, I hope you don't mind me announcing this, Clockwork. But on August 6th, the day the Kickstarter for the Stormlight Archives drop, we're going to be doing a special Stormlight Archives event thing. We don't know if it's a talk yet or looking over beta rules, but we're going to talk some nerdiness on August 6th, and it's going to be super exciting. I'm a relatively new fan to the series, and apparently Joe knows everything, so I'm very, very excited to know everything that Joe knows.
We are not going down that rabbit hole tonight, though, just so you guys know. We do not have time for that.
I'll behave myself. Kind of.
The current rabbit hole for Abernath Quinn is the one in which he's reading a book made of human skin, but just the cover of it, not the pages, just the cover is made of human skin. I feel that is an important distinction that needs to be made. Also,
It just means
Mrs.
it's
Ollie
not.
so
It's
much.
not an important
It
distinction.
means that you don't go
Dear
as
friend.
crazy.
I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, I'm
That's
reading
crazy.
like the whole
Yeah.
book of the books I'm going through. I mean, quick reading, like,
Yeah,
skimming, but
I'm doing a deep
Still,
dive for
I haven't
reasons.
gone full into making
Don't
notes
judge a
and
book
like
by its
dog-earing
human skin
pages and
cover.
everything. But
Unless you're a page master. Anywho, I'm excited to be here tonight. It's going to be a good time. By the way, as we get through summer, we are also thinking about Halloween already here at Shadows of Nox. So there's going to be some upcoming one-shots and things that people will be able to do that will be very spooky. And it's an exciting time to get involved. So feel free to get in on the ground floor and come join us at our Discord, hang out with us on social media. And let's have a spooky good time today. And let's just love each other and no stabbings.
Right.
That's also our 1 year anniversary
Oh,
Mhm.
Yes.
in October.
Because we're made of spookiness and shadows.
We are.
Rawr.
And last but not least, Joe.
Hi, my name is Joe, also known as Clockwork Tuba. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube under the same name. I am an RPG aficionado. I've been super excited for the Stormlight RPG for about 5 bazillion years. And yes, I kind of was geeking out about it, and then that inspired John. But in general, I am here on Call of Cthulhu. I've also am one of the players in Tom's, sporadic pickup, when it happens, Tuesday Shadowrun game. And also, I'm usually one of the first persons to respond to the casting calls whenever they post them. Even if I can't make it, I will just put something in there because they're fun people and they're not getting rid of me until they force me out of their damn Discord. So that's what I'll do. Tonight I am playing Barrett Fredericks, the disfigured man mountain who is convinced he is a monster. He just wants to help people and is convinced that the rest of the group just wants to help people too, and is therefore the
Poor
biggest fool
fool.
of all of them.
Or
But yeah, so if you want to play with us, join our Discord. We always put out casting calls there. We're a good group of people. We like to tell fun stories. We will be starting to stream. We're pre-recording Being Villainous, and we are going to start streaming that every other Thursday, either at the very end of July or beginning of August. So keep an eye out on social media for when we're going to start with that. It is a great game. It's been a lot of fun. It uses the fate system. You're going to really enjoy it. It's been a lot of fun to record. Anyway, so we are going to go ahead and jump into this tonight. I warned the players we are going to be we're at the beginning of the end here. We are going to be doing some time jumps going forward. A lot of their travel time is going to be skipped over unless there's something specific that they want to do.
Did I distract you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, if there's something that your character would like to do during the travel times that isn't like reading or like studying something or training, let me know ahead of time so that we can make sure that we have time for that. Any studying or training that you may want to do, we're just going to do that off camera, and you can do the rolls for that off camera. For tonight's session, we are starting with you guys docking in Capidello, which is the port that you decided of the three that you wanted to stop at. It's not a very large area. It's actually a rather small island. And it is kind of an island, sort of. So you will be able to kind of stock up on anything. Actually, I won't say anything because I don't want to give you guys that power. You can attempt to stock up on things that you may need. And you can rent a car or like a van or a truck or whatever. I will say, did we lose somebody? Oh, no. Okay. I will say whatever you rent, whether it be a van or a truck, it will be large enough to fit Barrett because Barrett is a very large man. There's a small inn if you want to stay the night. There is a general shop. There is a little diner. There's a little like almost like farmer's market set up. There's like a little clothing boutique. So there are little shops that you guys can visit. But as you guys step off of the boat, and actually before I say that, the biggest issue that you guys are going to have is language. Portuguese is primarily spoken here. So you guys are going to have to try to find somebody that speaks English. So that should be fun.
Before we leave, can I ask 2 questions as the player?
Yes.
Yes, as a player. One, does this inn also offer dances that are kind of happening but may not have happened, but may also have happened? Okay, sad. The second one is, can I request in universe a volleyball with a red handprint on it, like just in advance somewhere? Okay.
Absolutely not. That is that. They will not have. Well, actually, I won't say that. Perhaps, and we'll get to that. So maybe
that's concerning.
Oh, that's fine. I like that. That's fine.
Maybe. As you guys step off of the dock, and you guys are kind of heading off of your yacht into this town, Abernath, you have the strangest sense of deja vu. And as you kind of follow the path that leads from the dock area into the main part of town, it just becomes almost overwhelming. And as you enter the main part of town, you actually stop in your tracks and you are overcome by a memory. How long ago it was, you are not sure. And it's almost like you're watching a movie of a moment in your life. You are walking into this town, but you're with a different group of people. There are 3 men and a woman. A woman.
A women.
Women.
I mean, I've read Ford Freak, so I'm willing to accept most things. I'll just let you know.
Yeah, I mean we are in a different culture right now. So,
this is true. 3 men and a woman. You recognize one of those men.
Nice.
Leading the pack is another man. He is about 6'2". He has very, very blonde hair, and it's pulled back into a small ponytail. He has thick mutton chops, and he has a very neatly shaven mustache that's like one of like the curly mustaches. Very fancy.
Man of good breeding.
He is. I mean, maybe. He's wearing a very nice, very expensive looking cream suit with a green tie that matches the bright green eyes that he has. Um, as you guys are kind of following him into this town, he turns back and he calls out to all of you in this deep voice with a slight accent that you can't quite place. Come on now. We need to move quickly. Constance, be a dear. Start loading the go make sure the supplies are ready so that we can load the truck as soon as the truck pulls up. Fredo, would you kindly go pick up the truck and pull it out in front of the general shop? Thank you so much. The rest of you, will you mind going with Constance, and that way you can help her load the truck when the supplies are ready? Aberneth, my friend, please follow me.
Oh, of course.
So, everybody kind of disperses. The man named Fredo goes off in a different direction to presumably pick up a truck to pull up in front of the general store. Constance and the other two men go up to the general store. And you are following this man around and he is just kind of, schmoozing people, like going up and just kind of talking to them, shaking hands, that sort of thing. And then it kind of like speeds up a little bit. The truck is now loaded. You are all loaded up into the truck. And you're on the road and it feels like it's quite a long journey, and you make several stops along the way. Each stop is at a different village, but it's a village that's being built up. So you're kind of stopping and dropping off supplies to workers that are building huts in these little villages. One of which, it's getting kind of late, you all stop and you're actually camping at this village. The rest of the group kind of heads off to go to sleep, and the man with the green eyes looks over at you and says, Aberneth, would you please sit a spell, sit with me for a minute? I wanted to talk to you about something.
Oh, of course, yes. You've been so kind to me. How could I say no? Of course.
He gives you a smile, and then he's very quiet for a few minutes. And it's obvious that he's kind of lost in thought. And when he looks back over at you, if you would please, John, read the message that I sent you earlier today. And read it
so excited about this.
just to yourself. Do not read it out loud. And let me know when you are finished.
Secrets. It's top secrets.
It is.
Oh, right.
It's very secret.
I have finished reading.
You have finished reading. Okay. As that conversation comes to an end, he pulls out a knife and motions for you to hold up your hand. And
Well, to my everlasting shame, I'm left-handed, so I'll have to hold in my right hand.
that's perfectly fine. He gives you a look. It's almost an apologetic look, like he feels bad for what he's about to do. And he slices your finger, just your index finger, just straight up. He drops the knife and he has like a vial, and he's collecting the blood in a vial. And then he very quickly hands you a bandage to kind of bandage your finger. And this is where oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Did a fairly good job. I have the callus on that one from holding a weapon. I'm not going to get malaria, am I?
Absolutely not. Just keep it clean. And that is where the vision comes to an end. And when you look down at that hand, you now have a scar along that finger that you did not have before.
Aberneth.
I'm going to curl
Aberneth, you okay?
that finger in. Oh, sorry. I have a sudden craving for a coconut. Do you think they'll have coconuts here? I would assume they'd have coconuts. Probably, you think?
Never been, but we can look. Come on, let's get you out of the sun for a bit.
Oh, you are such a good friend.
Also, just out of character, what's that bullshit about unfortunately being left-handed?
Okay, so when I say that, what I mean is in that time period up until about 1986, being left-handed was something people had a lot of shame about and was corrected in most schools. So when I'm saying that as someone in the past, not as someone currently in the present who is left-handed.
Sure. No, I'm left-handed, so is Barrett, and it just tracks for Barrett being a monster to be left-handed. But let's I will sit Abernath down and look around like to the others, like I'll watch him go take care of stuff.
By the way, my gaze actually goes towards a stand where we bought the food the first time, and I just have like 1,000-yard stare happening.
Okay. As I said, there's a clothing store, there's a general store, there's that little farmer's market, there's a diner, there's a couple other like little shops.
Is there in fact a little shop of horrors?
Not
Yeah.
here.
Okay, just want to make sure.
What's between Abernath's
What about a plant
ears?
shop? A plant shop with possibly cannibalistic plants.
I feel like in the total eclipse of the sun would be putting a hat on a hat, though. Really, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll what whole clips will probably happen eventually down the line when we're at the final temple. Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
So where do you guys all want to go? What do you want to do? You guys do need to rent a car. There is a place that will rent you like a van or a truck or something.
Yeah. Well, we need a translator.
Yeah. Can anyone speak Portuguese?
Portuguese.
I
That
looked
is
at
not-
Portuguese and no one speaks Portuguese.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I mean,
Bit of oversight on
knowing
my
my
part.
tragic past, now that my spell is broken, that I retroactively give myself the ability to at least speak broken Portuguese.
No. There are
Is it-
people here that can speak broken English, so you just need to ask around. There are some people here that actually speak English.
Yeah.
You're not going to be completely screwed and not be able to communicate with people.
Does it happen to be a Latin-based language?
Is
Uh,
Portuguese
Portuguese
one?
Let me Google
Oh
it.
my God,
Use the internet.
Spanish.
Obia Coke.
I mean, I'm literally reaching for straws at this point.
No, I speak Latin too. So
Yeah.
maybe together, two halves of Latin can form into
It-
one Portuguese.
It is a Romance
originated from
language.
Latin.
It is a Romance
yeah.
language. So
It is a Romance language.
That might be like a hard Latin roll to try to understand.
I would honestly
Portuguese.
say I would say that's probably an extreme.
Extreme. Okay.
So I will say
mean,
this.
I'm fine with this.
Barrett does not know this, but Joe does. And
Is there a
Joe
way
will
I can assist?
say to Andrew, if you get an English to Latin translation book,
Yes.
you might be able
I'd be
to
looking for one at this point.
speed read it, yeah. With your
I think
crazy
at this
shit.
point, Michael, especially since he thought he prepared so well for this, would be like, oh, the language.
I would recommend perhaps going to the general store.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
looking for like a translating, like an English
Yeah.
to Portuguese translating book, I would hit up the general store.
I
for
will
read.
say, before any of the craziness stuff happens, or any of the serious stuff, by the time they do return to find Barrett and Abernath, unless Abernath is deliberately trying to slip my watch, Abernath has a giant sun hat on and has a coconut with a straw in it. When they find us again, because it's like, okay, you were out in the South American sun for 2 seconds and got heat stroke and hallucinated and zoned off for a bit. We're gonna get you a sun hat and we're gonna get you a coconut, buddy.
No, I'll do the Bugs Bunny thing. I'll totally let you. I'm doing that, but every time you try to put more clothing on me, I moved my hand a little bit because I've curled that finger, and I don't want you to see that
The scar.
the scar.
You know what?
Right.
Man, there's no
I
good gif of Bugs Bunny with the sun hat and the glasses. No, there's one. Okay.
I could
I got
cut
a
a little
picture.
spot hidden, but you know what? I trust my friend Abernath. He'd let us know about important things.
Theo will
such
go
a
to the general store and
friend.
see what we can find. I
Yeah.
think it's a good idea.
I have certainly not led any of you astray.
Dr. Byrne,
in any way,
if you
shape, or
want to
form.
come with us, feel
Yes,
free
I would
to
absolutely
stay
love
here.
to.
Okay.
So, it's actually kind of once you get in there, it actually kind of looks more like a thrift shop. There is like they do have camping gear. They have like dried rations. They have things that you would expect a general store to have. But there's also like some weird things. Like there's a rack with like blank postcards from all over. There's a rack with random shirts and jacket, like clothing items in weird sizes, and you can tell they're from all different places. It very much looks like the owner engages in a barter system with people.
Right.
There's a bookshelf in the back that has random books on it. There's even like a weird shelf that has nothing but like mismatched socks in it. Like it's just some of the stuff is just kind of wild. Like it's just kind of like a weird little like shop. When you go inside, the older gentleman, there's an older gentleman sitting there. He looks like maybe he's in his 60s or 70s. This man, obviously, like when you come in, he speaks nothing but Portuguese. He obviously does not speak any Spanish. But there's a little bell on the door. And when you come in and the bell rings, there's a younger gentleman, like maybe in his 30s, that comes out, and it's the gentleman's grandson who also works there. And he does speak some English.
Okay.
So he, as you know, he comes out back, hola.
Hola. I think
Um,
hopefully at this point I understand that means hello in some basic way.
yeah, I'm sure you do. English?
Yes, please.
Do you have
Obrigado.
a book to help learn the language?
A translation book,
Yeah.
Portuguese to
English to
English.
Portuguese. Yeah.
He stops and he thinks a little bit, and he leans into his grandfather, and he speaks in Portuguese to his grandfather, and
And I do
the
a
grandfather.
extreme Latin roll to see if I figure out what they're talking about.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know
let's-
how important it is, but I'll do it anyway.
You
Yeah.
understand the word sacrifice.
No. I understand the word
No.
sacrifice.
The grandfather speaks back to him, and he says, sí, un momento. And I apologize, anybody out there that speaks Portuguese, I speak very little, I speak a little bit of Spanish. So that is what I am going with for the majority of this. If that is wrong, I apologize. That's what I know. So that's what I'm going with.
We're doing this from a place of ignorance, not a place of assholishness.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
He goes in the back, and he's gone for maybe about 5-10 minutes, and you can actually like hear him like rustling around. You hear like what sounds like a box dropping, and then him swear. Well, you assume he's swearing in another language. That's just kind of what it sounds like. He comes back like kind of limping, like he dropped a box on his foot, but he's holding a book, and it is a translating. It is a translation book.
Thank you. How much? Okay. Thank you.
Gift for you.
Are you okay? And I'll point towards his foot.
He kind of smiles. See, a box fell in the back.
I'll hold up
very
my
heavy.
first aid kit. Do you want me to look at that, or?
Oh, no, thank you. I will be fine. I appreciate it. I will be fine though. My name is Alberto. This is my grandfather, Andre. Is there anything else that I can help you? Nice to meet you as well. Is there anything else that I can help you all find?
I'll look over at Theo and be like,
Well, yeah, we're gonna need to rent a vehicle. We need to take a trip. And a vehicle and appropriate petrol would be helpful.
See. There's a how you say a vehicle down the road, almost out of the town. You can rent a car there.
It's a working gig.
And they will have petrol as well.
thank you.
Where are you headed? Where is your trip taking you?
All over.
Yeah, actually, it was. Well, I'll give.
Checking.
I will. Yeah. Well, we're not going to tell them the truth. We're going to tell. We're going to give. We'll give them the proper information so that we can get properly outfitted. But I won't tell them I won't tell them the actual place we're going, because we need to get outfitted.
Player knowledge. Are we heading to the south point from here?
So you guys had decided that you were gonna go to just like straight, the center of the T. It was like a village south of that little area that's there. But you don't actually, according to the maps that you have, you don't actually know what's there. According to the maps that you have, there's nothing there.
Yep.
So
except for evil.
That would have been which one?
It starts with an M, and I can't pronounce it without sounding like an asshole.
It's south of Manuelino.
Yes, is where it is. But again, according to the map, there's nothing there.
Well, not suspicious at all.
Our secondary location after we leave here is going to why did we choose this one? Chiquilanqui.
Yep.
And
that is the second one.
Valparaiso is the final place where they're all supposed to be meeting up.
Yes. Were we able to get 2 of these translation books so that me and Dr. Byrne could each have one? Oh, okay.
Just one. Yeah, he just had one.
That is fine.
So do you guys pull out a map and kind of give him a general area of where you're going so he knows how to outfit you? How are you?
I do actually have some tropical survival skill. So I would outfit, and we would have had plenty of time to figure out what we need. And no, I'd give him a proper list of what we would need going where we're going.
I do like the flashback onto the boat of every time you list how much food we need, Barry coming back in and adding like 50% more and then walking away.
Yep.
Right, because he's rationing as a soldier.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Be like,
also the fact that Barrett's caloric intake is vastly different than everyone else's in this party.
That's a very good point.
Don't worry, Barrett. If you're still hungry, you can have a portion of my food. Because I'm a good friend that would never do anything to betray you.
You know, every time you say that, my character gets a twitch.
So
his gun hand gets a twitch.
I still think we should have taken a hot air balloon by a vaguely European incestuous couple. I still think that's what we should have done.
So as you're kind of telling him everything that you need, he kind of gets a look, and he says, "Oh, are you heading to the and he looks at his grandfather. Oh, what is the name of that village? The Villa de Poderoso. Are you heading there to meet up with your friends?
Let's see. Well, hang on. Let's be specific. They did come through here.
They got a lot of the same supplies, so I assumed that you were heading.
I wasn't
there. We don't.
How long ago did they come? We lost contact.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure they were coming through. I wasn't sure they ended up coming through here. There was options.
See, they came here for supplies, and they rented a couple of cars. But were you looking to barter as well? Because they bartered with us for their supplies. Do you want to barter?
Get their stuff.
What are there any supplies that we need more so?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, just the same that your friends had.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We've been kind of outfitted a little. Well, I was kind of asking Theo. That was just like anything more we need based on what we've already been given. So I know we have camping gear and rations from the ship and everything, but
yeah. Not that I can think of. We're outfitted about the same. We have
enough water.
Yeah. We're outfitted about the same as them. How long ago did they come through? Just so we can see, maybe we have to catch up, or because we thought they were coming from a different direction. So.
Oh, they must have been here two weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay.
Maybe 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks.
But I have to tell you that the things that they bartered, nobody wants them. So if you have another one of those books, it's weird and nobody wants to buy it. So I can't take that anymore. If you want to barter, you're going to need to give me better things.
Well,
Would I be able to see some of the stuff they bartered to you? 'Cause
Yeah,
some of that might be important.
yeah, it might be. They may have made some
what we're supposed
mistakes,
to
and
do.
we might buy them
Yeah.
from you.
Like a
Oh.
cartoon pie pulling someone off their feet. Michael floats up in the air
Yeah.
and starts being drawn towards the
Yeah.
books.
I mean, some of it was
Strange
there were
books,
some
you say.
clothes. There was like a robe, a very weird robe, and he comes around the desk and he goes over to one of the racks and he pulls off a robe, and it's very similar to the robe that you saw the cultists wear when they went to the PI's office. So there was this, but nobody wants it. It's hot here. Nobody wants it something heavy
Yeah.
like this. Nobody wears this. And then
Is
like
it
he pulls
about
out.
any of our sizes?
Ooh, you
I
want
mean,
to Scooby Doo our
not-
way in?
Yeah.
not Barrett, but there's only one.
Mhm.
And I mean, yeah, there's several of you that would fit.
Yeah, because it's about
Um,
average size, right?
Um,
Okay.
Yeah. And then he goes over to the bookshelf and he pulls out this book, but it's when you look at it, it's almost like a fancy pamphlet. Like it's very thin. It's not like an actual like thick book. But when he holds it up to you,
Yeah.
it's the sigil that you saw on the map is on the book. And then they gave us this
Okay,
book,
yeah,
and it's very weird, and nobody
Yeah.
wants it. It's very, very creepy, and nobody can understand it.
Yeah.
Nobody.
They,
It's in a
they,
different language.
damn it!
Cthulhu?
I told you we should not have let them take it with us. Now we got to pay for it to get
Yeah,
it back. Man, no, we'll
It's
take
something
it off your
that
hands.
one of our more artistic friends put
Yeah.
together. It's
I'll tell you what.
mostly nonsense, but yeah, it's
If you
that's
instead
what
of
I'm
bartering, if you buy your supplies with money and not
Yeah.
barter, I will just throw this stupid book in with it. You may have it.
Yes,
awesome.
we will use
I mean,
cash.
I will take the book and the robe. Honestly, there's no
Yeah.
reason.
It
for
is
you to hold
yours.
on to it.
I will please get it out. Nobody
Yes.
wants such a thing.
Yeah, it doesn't need to take up here.
No, doesn't need to take up your space.
If you want
mhm.
fresh food, we don't have a lot of fresh food in here, but there are the stalls out in the marketplace, and you can get fresh food there. They have fish and fruits and vegetables that you can buy. We have a lot of dried stuff here.
Okay.
So if you want dried stuff, you can get it here. But if not, I highly recommend the
I'm
stall.
completely trusting Theo right now, and whether or not we need more food or rations.
Grab a little bit of dried stuff.
Mhm.
Well, no, not a
Just
little
sure.
bit. Grab enough for us in case we get
Mhm.
stuck in a spot where
As
we can't.
backup from the more fresh stuff we got from the boat or whatnot.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
whatever the boat might be. I don't know how fresh that is at this
Um,
point.
I mean, it's Harold's money. He's not going to go looking for it.
Right.
Right, yeah.
I made sure of
will
that.
we?
Yes. Okay. Or if Harold comes
Do
back
we-
for it, we have a problem.
Theo, do
You-
we need any more
You
in
didn't tell
the
us you killed
realm
him,
of
so.
camping or rain gear or
Yeah, they also have like matches. They have things
Yeah.
for torches. They have like
making
first aid
fire?
kits.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we
I
would,
got to be honest with you, Theo. I have never camped before in my life, so this is all going to be new to me.
it's okay. I've done way more than I wanted to.
Well, that's good.
The important thing is dry underwear. Otherwise,
Should I buy more underwear?
something grows.
Would you want the underwear to start out wet? That seems bad.
Oh, sure.
Seems like it should start out dry regardless. I'm just saying.
Leads to chafing, honely.
As
Sorry,
Theo
that was
pulls out a
that-
handgun?
Yeah,
What?
that was by accident. That was by
Random
accident.
roll.
I didn't mean to.
That
Sometimes
wasn't even murderous. I
And
was
for
being
the-
witty in that moment.
And for the second time this campaign, Tom just straight up shoots somebody in a shop for no reason.
no,
He just goes, and time for the barter roll. Pulls out
occasionally
gun.
occasionally when Abernathy is talking, I just no.
Abernathy's not there.
You get a little itchy, right?
Yeah, he's not there. That was completely Tom on his character sheet. I can't help it. put the mouse button over a handgun, and I press it. Okay.
Come back to Bear going, no, don't worry, Abernath. I got it. I'll use the knife to cut open the mango for you. You don't need to worry about the knife.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, we get
okay.
whatever we need, and probably a good amount of supplies and stuff like that, based on the list we provided, and that.
If you want, I can box everything up for you, and you can bring whatever vehicle you rent. You can bring it by. You can just pull it right up, and you can load the truck. That way, you don't have to carry it.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
We do have a pack mule if you guys want to use me.
Nah, we don't want
Yes, Abernath.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually a serious thing that is going to happen, not me being silly. I'm doing this for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come back out, I'm actually getting out from underneath the sun hat and the thing, because I've been playing up the enfeebled thing, but you come out and you see me walking over to one of the food stalls, and I actually, in kind of this broken English, and I mime it, I ask for a pastel de nata, because I had one when I was here last time. And I say it in British English, so I'm butchering it. But pastel de nata is a classic European custard tart egg dish thing.
Does
Portuguese egg tart.
Does Michael look at the book that they gave him?
Yes, but not right now. I mean, I'm not having them have it with the boxes. I'm just going to take that and the robe right now.
Okay.
I'm going to try to fold up the robe as much as I can and put it in my
Barrett
little
sees Michael with the robe and goes,
messenger bag. Huh?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would want to take a look at it at some point.
Yeah. All right.
Is there anything else that you guys want to do before you go get a vehicle?
So when we walk out, we hear Abernath.
Yeah, when you guys are like walking back out, he's getting the.
He's saying last time he was here.
Theo.
No, I don't know if he's saying. Are you?
He doesn't say that. You just hear him ordering it in broken Portuguese.
Theo, should we get tools for the car that we are going to be getting in case we need to fix anything?
Yeah, we
do have tools.
Yeah, we've got tools. That would have been part of the. Anytime you're going on a jungle thing, that would have been part of the.
Right, okay, all right.
Stuff we'd have tools.
I'm not very mechanically inclined either, so.
If
it's weird, I probably know something about it. But if it's not, yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. How did Charlie think this was gonna work? Okay. Yeah. Anyways,
I have mechanical repair if no one else does.
All right.
Yeah. No.
I
have a pen in it. Does that help?
I just haven't used it.
Nope. Now would be time. I would think we'd walk off and check in with Abernath going, and he's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So I go talk to Barrett and let him know what we did. You know, okay, we're gonna go rent the vehicle. They're gonna box up the supplies we're getting here. We'll combine that with the stuff we get from the boat and go.
We're 2 weeks behind.
2 weeks behind, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2-3 weeks.
Yeah, he said he couldn't quite remember. It was two or 3 weeks.
Gotcha. Might as well just assume it's been 3.
Yeah.
So we have to assume that whatever they're working on, they're at the point where they're entrenched, and we're not going to be able to catch them setting things up.
No,
not unless something else held them up.
No, but I think we're probably better at. We've got, two trained soldiers, looking over at Abernath. And
I would probably have gone over to where Abernath is and seen what he was ordering food wise.
Yeah. And
I'm like chowing down on a pastel de nata, and I actually look over at you and I say, "Don't get the bananas, but you got to try these egg custard things. I don't know what they put in them, but they're great." And then I order a second egg custard, and then I walk off like that's, Yeah.
Upon learning that he has no idea what's in it, I don't order one.
Yeah.
It doesn't have tentacles, if that helps any.
That's,
Well,
that's
yeah.
a bit of a low bar, honestly. Um,
All right. So you guys are able to rent a vehicle.
Okay.
Are you guys looking for like a big truck? Are you looking for like a big like
Fully
panel
functional
van
military
or
tank.
I
If
would
there's
say
some sort
probably
of-
I would say probably a with I think a
yeah, we're
big,
going to need something durable for the road.
yeah.
that-
Well, also
so like
could they also could go
Yeah.
anywheres.
a
A
truck,
big-
a jeep.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Great.
Basically a large truck, especially if it's got a flatbed in the back where Barrett can ride.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
yes, Eberneth?
Yeah.
I have a silly suggestion and a serious suggestion. Which one would you like to hear?
I mean, both. Make it quick.
Okay, the silly suggestion is to try to recreate the vehicle that the Creepies had in the Seminole Wacky Races cartoon,
Oh,
where Barrett can
Jesus.
just stick out the top of the weird chapel sunroof. The other suggestion would be, I would assume at this point in Brazil's history, they have gone through some sort of civil war, so there's got to be a version of those like flatbed trucks that have the canopy tents on
Yeah.
top. I would just
some sort
assume
of
they-
truck with a covering for the
And
flatbed.
to be fair, you can also if you don't want to try to fit everybody in one, you can rent two, and you guys just split up and
Yeah.
one like follow the leader.
Right.
Who would
So
want
that
to
is an
ride
option
in a
for you.
truck with me?
Oh.
All right. So
I
yeah. So
don't-
we'll rent
Creepiness
two.
aside,
And
I will say
one by
everybody.
himself.
No, we're not putting Abernathy one by himself. That's the problem. Is
Yeah.
the fact that the only
Oh,
thing worse than
we'll-
someone
we'll
riding
put
alone
him
with
in one
Abernathy.
by himself. He'll be in the back, and we'll only give him like maybe half a gallon of fuel.
Do you really
And
want
then we'll just
Abernathy to
take
be
off.
alone?
Yes, the
I'm
problem is
42 years old. I'm old in 1960. You should respect your elders.
So yes, do you guys want to do like one bigger vehicle or two kind of smaller vehicles?
As much as I hate to say this, I would say two smaller ones
Yeah, probably.
because
The only problem is if we
I
get
don't
into some
want to
kind of like
split
car
up, but
fight,
it's
I
also
can't
if
jump
one
out of the
breaks
back of a bigger
down,
vehicle.
at least we
Yeah.
have a second.
Okay.
well, the other part of it is there's places that big trucks can't go.
I
So-
also
Yeah, how about
think
this? How about this? We get one relatively large vehicle, and then we get, just for the pure optics of this, we'll get a motorcycle with a sidecar. Barrett will
No.
drive the motorcycle and have.
I don't think you want a
Abernathy sitting
motorcycle
in
with this.
his-
No, you don't want a motorcycle and a sidecar for like the jungle. Like I wouldn't think that that's a good idea.
a truck and a
Hilarious.
jeep
Terrible.
probably
Yeah.
would be good.
A truck and a
With
jeep
World
makes
War
sense.
II, jeeps are a thing. They're really good for off-roading.
Yep.
So I think having a jeep be the maneuverable one that goes in front, followed by the truck that has
Yep.
more of the things. And if we can get a truck that people could, in the flatbed area, potentially camp in, it would
That's
prevent
actually
how many tents we'd have to set up.
the truck that John just posted in the Discord chat is actually not a bad idea.
Yep.
I don't know how well it would
Yeah.
do, like if you guys need to go off road, but that is a really good option.
Well, here's the thing: if we can
I think
get
that's
that
pretty good.
truck, and we get stuck someplace, Barrett can fix the getting stuck someplace.
Yeah.
Right.
It may
I
slow
think
us down,
getting
but
that truck is one of them, and then a Jeep or something a little more maneuverable and durable like that
Yep.
would work.
Okay.
Not a problem. I will say they absolutely have those options for you. I'm guessing you probably want to pull up the bigger one in front of the general store and load the supplies onto that, or do you want to do
Yeah.
that with the smaller one?
I'll probably pull up the bigger one
yeah.
or whatnot. Make sure we have a covering for it, like a canvas.
Honestly,
covering for the
and this
outside.
is just paranoia. But we'll rent both. The smaller Jeep will not be seen with us inside this city.
That's fair.
We'll keep that outside, and then we'll just load up just the big truck. That way, if they think that if it's there are like spies left behind to follow us, they'll think we just have this big truck.
Who are we having as drivers? I believe Theo's probably going to be the one driving the Jeep. Honestly,
Probably.
the Jeep's going first.
Yep.
But who else is a good driver?
I've got drive auto at 20. I'm a boat man.
I also have Drive Auto at 20.
Yeah, I'm the same. I have a license. That's pretty much what I believe that means at this
Yeah,
point.
And unless our kind, gracious, and amazing keeper will let me operate heavy machinery for that giant truck, because that I have at a 51.
It is.
Do you think
heavy.
you could, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, do you think he could fit in the driver's seat? Because he is a very, very large man.
If it is just him in the cabin, yes, because he can rip out as many seats as he needs to make it happen.
Big
somehow
man in
get
a
in there.
little
Yeah.
truck.
Let me take a look at this.
Chris
Big
Farley.
man. in
I mean, it is a pretty
little
big truck.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but the
know.
cabin looks kind of small.
It does it does, just because you're probably not thinking of just how tall it is.
Oh, that's
Those-
fair.
Those have a lot
I
of
will
space in
say,
there.
I will say, sure. I will allow that. You can drive the big truck and operate
Yes.
heavy machinery. Theo can drive the Jeep.
I knew I took his skill for a reason.
Yes.
I'm going to make a suggestion. Take this or leave this. Dr. Byrne and Michael may want to ride together. So whatever,
Okay.
like, for reasons, if you guys decided that you need to
Yeah.
do something,
I think we can ride in the truck. Would be good.
Yeah, let's ride in the truck.
We'd have space to at least talk about academics or whatever.
Yeah.
Where's Abernath?
So
Abernath
the way
and,
that I'm kind of, you
Charlie.
said the truck, right? Like, so you guys are riding in the big truck.
We're gonna do the truck.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you
that's
guys
what I
riding
would
like in
think.
the bed, like, because I don't
Unless
know that
we can sit in like the back seat of the Jeep, just the two of us, and talk while Theo drives.
No, the back
That'd
seat,
work,
the back, yeah. I like you guys in the back seat. I'm driving. Katie can be up front with me.
and then Abernath can
Oh,
ride
okay.
in the big truck with Barrett.
Yeah,
That would probably work.
Does that work? Okay.
So there's one person with Barrett at least still, and someone that I don't think is all that big.
Right.
Abernath is
And then,
actually going to look. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Abernath is actually going to look at Theo once it's announced who's driving, and he goes, "You got the walkie-talkies, right? So that we can communicate with each other in case one of the cars gets lost. You got that when you bought our stuff."
Did they? Yeah, they did exist back then. I was thinking about it. I forgot.
Yeah, I mean it's
I
probably an
Googled it to
item
make sure
that
they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
a soldier probably would have thought of when we
Yeah.
were trying to get.
I'll keep ours cranked in the first
If
one. in case
either
we need to
we-
communicate.
Yeah, we got it before boarding the boat, or we got it at the thrift store.
Yeah.
One of the two, probably. I would think.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll keep our end cranked. While I spend time with my best friend Barrett.
I'm gonna
What a
die.
thrill. What a thrill.
So my next question
Gonna
is,
die, and all our supplies are gonna be gone. This is gonna be great.
This is gonna be so fun.
are you staying the night here in town and then heading out, or are you just immediately heading out?
I don't know if we have time to stay here.
Yeah, I personally don't think we should stay.
Yeah, I don't think we should. We've had plenty of time, chance to sleep and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
after this, we can sleep when we're dead.
Okay, that might be
Yeah.
sooner rather than
So
later.
in a couple days
um,
now. Got
Yeah, I was gonna say sooner rather than later, but it's fine.
it.
On the
except-
journey,
Elizabeth's the keeper. We're not gonna sleep when we're dead. She's gonna have work for us.
This is true.
very
She's gonna
true.
keep.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. There is no sleep when you guys are dead. You will have to work.
Little scary ghost.
Once you guys get out on the road and you're headed out, yes.
Sorry, one last thing before everything. I'm sorry. I know.
No, what is it?
But as soon as we are out of town,
Mhm.
we pull out the map and see where we're heading and where the place that they said,
Mhm.
the Villa de Todo Poderosa.
Mhm.
Where is that in connection to the Cthulhu glyph? Is
That is
one of
where
points?
the dot is. The dot, that
center
middle,
one?
the center
Yeah.
T, that is
Okay.
south of that town, the south of
Okay.
whatever, that is where that is.
Awesome.
It just doesn't show up on a map. There is no
Right.
map village, no map marking for it. But the guy at the general store told you that that's what the village is called.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
got quite a distance.
Just because I hate doing, I hate being this player, and I'm doing this just to make sure we're playing even and honest. In the journal, that team was supposed to have landed in Fortaleza, not in Cabadero. If you wanted to change that, that's fine. But
Oh no, you decided what dock you wanted to go to. That had nothing to do with the stops that you were making.
okay.
You guys decided that you wanted to stop this center ritual. That had nothing to do with what dock you guys picked.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Just want to make sure. Want to
Yep.
make sure we're all heading. We're still. It's not like there isn't like a place where they changed their mind when they got here, kind of situation.
Right.
Nope.
But yeah, if they're telling, if they're
This
saying
one
it's the
had
same
nothing to do
spot.
with the other.
Okay.
Okay, so as you guys are leaving, I will say that the people that were supposed to dock in Cabadella, none of you saw them. So anybody that knew those people, you did not see them anywhere.
Okay.
Once you get out on the road, are you looking at that book that you found? As a general
Who
store.
are you asking?
Michael.
Generally,
Michael.
or-
Michael and
I was reading the stuff people bring. What?
Yeah.
Michael
What was the
and
question?
the doctor would be in the back
Yes.
with one.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
Yeah,
ask.
we'd be
Okay,
in the back taking a look
yeah,
at the pamphlet. Yeah.
right, yeah.
that they did.
What's on that thing?
It is so in addition to the sigil that's on the cover, there's a Latin phrase that says "Surge ex somno," and the entire thing is in Latin. So
Okay. All right.
you guys, one or both of you, need to do Latin
Yeah.
rolls to see if you can translate this.
I'll definitely take that.
Can we both roll?
Yeah, you can absolutely both roll. What is that?
Why is that weird?
I don't know what that is. That's
Weird.
Why did it do that?
Wait, what
That
happened?
is-
I was.
that is
Oh, because I don't have
weird.
regular selected. That's what happens if you have absolutely nothing selected when you try to roll.
Oh, that's
Oh.
interesting.
I'll go again.
Suddenly,
like an
Michael.
article.
Suddenly, Michael gets dragged through a fancy elevator to floor 70-0. Apparently.
Yep, I'm
That's
lost.
what happens when you fall down the shaft in Stardew Valley and you end up 70 floors
It-
down mining. For
it
Enduro.
actually makes sense with how Roll20 how Roll20 character sheets
Yeah,
work.
the programming.
Some of the ones I've created have had some weird results.
Yeah.
So both of you succeeded. You are both able to translate this book. Are you translating it out loud to everybody else?
Read the Latin.
Out loud?
Cabin in the
Or
Woods
are you
style.
just
Well,
translating it?
Out loud sounds like a very
Reading
sketchy
random
idea.
books in Cthulhu out loud
Yeah.
while you're translating it. Yeah, that is a bad
Do you have
feeling.
the walkie-talkie
Um,
clicked in too, so we all get, we all hear it and get affected by this at the same time?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just do it over the radio.
Or are you guys just translating it to yourself and then sharing it once you know what it says?
Yeah. I'm probably gonna try to translate it to
that's what I think.
myself, and then
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Sum
actually
up
seriously
what it
going to
says.
say, hey, if you read this aloud, is it going to bring our walkie-talkie to life? Because that will be a problem.
I am going to share it with the two of you
not gonna
first.
talk like a piece of bread with Vegemite.
I'm going to share what it says with the two of you first.
Okay.
And then if you guys say that you're going to tell everybody else, then I will share it with them as well, because I want to make sure that everybody can actually read it.
Right.
Let me make sure that it's correct first. Okay. So it's under books. Surge ex Somno is the name of it. There is no author. There is no dates published. Again, it is very, very thin. It's almost just like a fancy pamphlet. There's very few pages. And if you just kind of flip through it before you translate it, you will see that there are a couple pages at the very end torn out.
Quick question. I know I'm not anywhere near this book, but just a general
Absolutely.
thing while they're reading through this. Does this look like a handmade book, or does it look like it's
No.
a professionally bound?
No, it absolutely looks like it's professionally bound.
Okay.
Bound. Yeah, it doesn't look like something like a journal, like somebody just kind of threw it together. It actually looks like nicely put together.
Yeah.
It's just it's very thin. There's not a lot to it.
Hmm.
Can you guys see it?
I can see the book, not what's in it.
You can't
when
see
I
what's
open
in
it.
it. Oh, do you know
Um,
why? Because I am a big dummy and I put it in the
Not.
wrong spot. Hold on, I will fix it. I am so sorry. Um,
By the way, in case Barrett didn't see the message, I am, while I'm cranking, like one hand is cranking the walkie-talkie generator, the other hand is working on a knot, Barrett, and I don't know if I'm very good at knot.
I mean,
Fine,
probably,
so.
probably not dumb, but also
did that work?
Boo!
Yep.
Boo this math!
you can stop cranking you only need to crank the generator when the power's out, Abernath. It's good now.
Well, I disagree, but, you know, if you think so.
Thank you, Barrett. Was sending a squawk down the line. I replied back on the.
We need a lunar calendar,
I will
which
tell you.
Michael would say out loud while reading.
Yeah,
And trying to figure out
that
the
would actually.
I will give you that answer in a minute, but first I need to know if you guys are going to relay this to everybody.
Are
else.
you sharing with the class?
And then
I'm
I
still
will read it
reading
out
it myself.
Oh, sorry.
And so yeah, are you sharing with the class? And is the class sharing with the other class that's in the other classroom?
I'm going to say that if it's being shared with everybody, and then I will
Yeah.
read it out loud as well for our audience.
Is somno in relation to sleep?
Usually.
That tracks.
Am I getting information?
I was like,
Am I seeing something somewhere? I don't
something
know
of
if I'm
dreams,
not
maybe
seeing.
is what. Anyway,
Should be in roll 20, Lottie.
Yeah, so in roll 20 under books, it's called Surge Ex Somno.
Okay, sorry. Spaghetti.
He who sleeps?
Mm.
My translation was a little weird.
Okay.
I know
So-
it's that is me going off of what little Latin I learned in like high school and that kind of stuff. So it could be
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
messing it up.
Yeah. Not great. Okay.
Yeah, the translator that I was using at first was being a little weird, so it may actually be wrong, but I'm just going to go with it
Right,
and
yeah.
say that it's right.
It's right in
Okay.
your world. Latin works
Exactly.
differently than our world.
Are you able
Latin
to see
is-
it, Letty?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. So
No,
yeah,
no, no,
Abs-
Abernath, no. Oh, take the bunny ear, go underneath the burrow. Underneath the burrow.
You don't have to talk to me like I'm a child. I'm doing the best I can. It's very important
Yeah,
to get these knots in
Okay.
case the bridge is out again.
I'll take a look over at Dr. Byrne while we're both kind of reading it and everything. And
What do you mean
translating
again, Abernath?
it. Just big. I mean,
I just in general.
I don't
in
see anything
case
wrong with
any
letting
bridge
everybody
is
know
out
what's in
again.
here, right?
Okay.
Doubt.
Or
Yes,
or
in
do you think
general.
there are some things we should,
I
don't need to include necessarily?
think that I need to do it in Australian accent. I think that there are things that
Mhm.
we are getting ourselves into that are very, very intense. So I
Yes.
think that giving the full breadth of information is probably important. Is there anything that's bringing up concern to you?
I mean, the whole thing's of concern to me, just mainly in the sense of the craziness of the situation we're in, and
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to know more about the craziness than they need to, just to help protect them from the insanity of it all. But
I fear
if
it
you
might be
feel
more.
it's okay, then I'll trust your judgment.
I'm
You've
just
been on
I'm
more
saying-
archaeological things like this than I have, so.
I think we're at a point where it's deeper than we want it to be, but there's not much we
Mhm.
can do past this point.
Okay.
That's my humble opinion.
And yeah, I will relay everything to the best that I can to Charlie and Theo, at
Okay.
least to them first.
All right. I have shared it with everyone. Now, do you want to read this to them or do you want me to read it to them?
At a certain point, I'd hand him the mic for the radio. Okay, let's let the other two know. The only thing that hiding stuff from each other is going to get us is trouble.
All right.
We're a team.
So you want me to just read the notes as you have them, kind of thing?
You can paraphrase it however you want. You can read it straight the way it is. It's completely up to you.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to try to avoid some of the Latin terms, just to try to translate it for everybody, so that you all can understand essentially what it means. But this journal doesn't have an author listed or any dates as to when it was made. They're all in Latin. It's only got a couple pages. Some of the pages, like the final page of it, has a section titled Excitatio. And then after that, the pages have been torn out, so that's something to keep an eye on, I guess. But in general, the book speaks of a ritual that's supposed to be done in 6 different locations, but all at the same time. It's to wither the 6 locks, so to speak. Very specific instructions. We can break the locks or whatnot. It's not entirely clear which it means there. But there are a couple pages that explain the ritual more in detail and exactly what we need and everything. But roughly translated, the ritual is to create various sacred circles of salt and blood to cleanse the area, and gives certain dimensions for what a small stone altar needs to be, the drawing of a sigil involved. It's to be done outside under the full moon, so all of these need to be done under a full moon at the same time. So we got to check a lunar calendar to try to figure out when the next full moon is. It takes 6 people to stand in a circle at each spot. Once it's been purified, then there's an elder that stands in the center of the circle with the altar and does the ritual. They all go through a Latin chant, and then those around the circle, once they get to the last line of it, that's supposedly the elder that's leading it will actually break the key as part of the ritual, and then it'll help fill the altar. And then the altar sits there with this key. Once they're all completed, then they can potentially do the final main ritual, which I guess is over at Valparaiso, or the last location we're going to.
It's
right.
Probably the island in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, right, you're right. But it doesn't. I'm assuming the final pages detail that final ritual.
Oh, it's not in a northeastern state?
No.
Okay.
I assume, by the way, that you translate Exitiso for us as
that is the awakening. I forgot to put that in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it translates to the awakening.
Yeah, I figured that was the final ritual. Yeah, that's what I assumed it was. So that's what I realized.
I will say, as soon as you finish that, there's a click over the walkie-talkie. I'm sorry, Aberneth was right. The battery wore out on this thing halfway through. Can you repeat that for me?
Anyway, I'll do it when we're not over the radio.
That being said, oh dear.
I was just gonna say, in most of regular, just everyday journals and pocketbooks or planners, they usually have some kind of simple lunar calendar that at least tells you when a full moon's happening. So would it be possible or logical for me to actually just have my planner on me and it has the next full moon?
Well, another opportunity for that though is I've also spent the past 2 months on the sea staring at the stars. Can I roll navigate and just have Barrett know when the next full moon is?
You don't even need to. I'm not even going to make you roll. The two of you, between your knowledge and whatever you have,
location specific to the exact date and time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Abernath is just there's no way there's not a full moon happening soon, right?
Oh no, there's absolutely. We're either missing a full moon or it's
4 days.
4 days.
4 days.
We have 4 days to get across the continent.
I think there's just like a dead silence on the radio after the 4 days, and then like in synchronicity, both Barrett and Theo put like downshift the cars into like a faster gear and start driving faster.
Now, I will
Do we even
say,
have a chance to get there to the first
Yes,
point in 4 days?
yes.
Okay.
so the point that the mark that you guys were trying to hit
Mhm.
straight through, it would take you roughly, and this is just roughly, it would take you roughly nonstop 48 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you wanted to change your plan, if you wanted to go there, you can. If you want to go to the closer spot, you can.
Yeah, I mean,
And you would have time to like stop and sleep and that sort of thing.
in theory, we just need to disrupt one of these, and that
Correct.
will do
Yeah.
what we need to. But let's I would say stick to the planning, head to the T, because at least if that one doesn't work, supposedly disrupts the whole thing, but it also will disrupt the symbol itself, because the points won't have an area to connect to.
So, quick questions for the keeper, and then an above table little bit of thing. Which point is the one that's physically closest to us? Like which one of the locations is that?
Let me draw a thing. So from where you guys are going, technically this. Okay, fine. Don't fucking do that then. Technically this one here is closer. Technically, you will hit that first. Just originally, you didn't have all this information, so that's why you were going to the one you were going to.
That's not what I'm asking though. Is which one of the locations on the cult journal is that location is?
Oh, that one is. Give me a moment.
No worries.
Also,
that is Carolina
because it's a red square.
That is Carolina.
Okay, so that is Fredo. The one that's leading up that expedition. I will say the one we're heading to is being led by Emma, which I do believe is Charlie's point of contact. So I will say this. I'll ask above table, especially because Katie's not here.
I know what you're going to ask. It does not matter.
Okay.
It does not matter who's running it. Does not matter.
No. It was, I think, more of like getting the pathos of, if Katie wants to have the scene of her character meeting up with the person from the past.
Does not matter.
Understood.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's leading it. You're not going to have that moment.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah,
things are gonna happen. You're not gonna have that moment. Doesn't matter if she's here or not.
That's absolutely fine. I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, by the way, remember that person from your backstory that's gonna be the big traumatic moment? Yeah, we kicked your ass later on. You weren't even here for it. That's not fun for a player. I just wanted to make sure.
You got a sunburn again, and you were just angry the whole time.
You got drunk, and therefore you missed it when we gave you catharsis.
Yeah.
I will say though that if you get drunk and you miss. If you get shit-faced and you stay shit-faced and you miss confronting the person, that's technically your own fault because you got shit-faced.
Right.
Just saying.
Yes and no, because Theo was the one that got her shit-faced. So
yeah, but you didn't pour it down her throat. She took it willingly and she drank it. So you can't unless you drug her, you can't do it. It's her. It's the person.
That's true, but I do actually have a skill in getting women drunk. But you're right. Actually, that came off as creepy as fuck, didn't it?
Yeah.
It did.
That doesn't sound like
we're gonna let you. Hold on. Everyone,
we're gonna
let you sit in that silence for a moment, and then we're just gonna move on.
Yeah.
We're not even gonna sit that in silence. We're just gonna move on.
So,
It
by the
was
way,
bad joke.
by the way, Barrett, as we're going down the road, Abernath is getting more insistent on being able to tie like a really competent knot. Like he's like cursing under his breath when the knot doesn't hold well.
Yeah, this doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah. No, but Barrett is, because you're my joyful best friend. Barrett is very encouraging the entire time, and has basically been just, like patiently guiding you through it as you go. Like it's okay. Not all knots are gonna hold. That's why you have backups. And plus you're also working on a small piece of rope. It's different when it's under tension. Take your time. Do it 20 times slow so you can do it 5 times faster so you can do it 1 time quick.
Well, we don't really have that kind of time, but I will try.
We're doing nothing but driving for the next 2 days. I'm going to be a very, very tired man at the end of this. So
Driving towards death. I always knew this is how I would go.
Oh.
I don't say that over the intercom by the walkie-talkie. I just say that to Baron. I don't say it over the walkie-talkie.
But aren't I in the truck with you?
Nope, you're in
No,
the
no, you're in
You're
the
in the
other
Yeah,
car.
we're in the,
You're in the other car.
It is literally just
see.
Barrett and Abernath in the massive truck with all the supplies.
Yep.
As-
Uh-huh.
Because I'm a giant human grasshopper, so I'm
What
kind
could
of
go
slim,
wrong,
so I
right?
fit pretty well.
So
Abernath in a giant truck.
as you're reading this book, a phrase sticks out to you, Michael.
Mhm.
Let me find it. The phrase non contram circulus is like playing in your head. You know that it's not the exact phrase, but
Mhm.
you know that you've heard something similar in one of the books that you have read recently.
Mhm.
Um, do you
Be
try
one
to
of
figure that
3.
out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would that be an intel roll to try to figure out which book it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Yay!
It
Ooh.
is the book that you got from Constance Mullen's basement. The like
Mm.
bad copy of the bad
Yeah,
copy.
of the water one. Yeah,
Yeah. You
more recent one I skimmed through.
yeah, you skimmed through it because it was very bad. Like it was written in English,
Mhm.
and but you were like, as you're kind of going through this, there were certain like Latin words like
Mhm.
scattered throughout, but none of them really made any sense. So you didn't really think about it because like the whole
Yeah.
book itself just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But you remember the phrase circulus, and I'm going to say this so badly, and I apologize. Circulus irrumpit. So the first phrase is do not, basically translates to do not break the circle.
Mhm.
This phrase is the circle breaks.
Mhm. Okay. Is where is that phrase in here? Towards the
Um,
end of whatever this ritual is.
so the in the actual like ritual book, before it says the chant where it says non
Mhm.
non contrarum
Contrarum
circulus,
circulus.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is do not break the circle, and that's
Right.
kind of what jogged your memory.
Mhm.
And as you kind of go back through all of the books that you've read
Mhm.
recently, you remember seeing something similar in that bad
And that one
translation.
says the circle breaks.
The circle breaks, right? And as you're kind of remembering, you remember seeing like roughly six other Latin words in this all English book.
Yeah.
As you guys are kind of going through the drive, do
Mhm.
you go back to like look at those, or do you just not worry about it?
Yeah, I would try to cross-reference things, and while doing, be like, okay,
Okay.
don't worry, don't pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm just gonna sit here in the bumpy jeep and try to cross-reference books, hoping that Dr. Brun doesn't look over my shoulder and lose sanity by catching a glimpse of something.
So the first word that you come to, besides like
Mhm.
after like the actual like phrase, the circle breaks,
Yeah.
the first Latin word that you come to is circulus.
Hmm.
Actually, where's my book that I have all these written down? Which translated is circle.
Hmm.
The second word that you come to is vinculum,
Hmm.
which translates to bond.
Okay.
And you're flipping through it some more.
Yeah.
The next one is intuus, intus, and that is the word inside.
Okay.
Next, you come to cavate, cavete,
Mhm.
which roughly translates to be careful. And then you come to confrigate, which is crush.
Okay.
And then, sorry, I'm a child sometimes, and I'm very immature, and this makes me giggle. Cum sex.
Ooh.
which is win 6.
So what you're saying is it's a Latin treatise about when you finally admit to your crush and then give them a ring to have protective sex. Gotcha.
Right.
I mean, maybe
No?
if that's how you want
That's
to,
what I got.
if that's how you want to translate it, that is
Yeah. What was
absolutely
that
fine.
last word again?
The
What does it
English or
mean?
the Latin? The translation is
You guys
win
complain about me
6.
being creepy.
When 6. Okay, gotcha. Okay, when as in the number, and when and then the
Yes.
number 6. Okay.
Win and then the number 6. Yes.
Okay.
Um.
So the bond of the circle gets crushed when the 6 get completed, probably. Okay.
Well, and then you also have be careful in there.
Right.
So, do you share this with Dr. Byrne?
Yeah, I would probably pull out something to write notes on
Oh.
and try to write it in a note, trying to figure out what order those words really go in and try to translate it to get it straight in my mind before sharing it.
Okay.
And then share it to Dr. Byrne.
Okay. What kind of role do you want to do to try to figure that out? Or do you just want to try to figure it out yourself?
I'll do a Latin roll to try to help figure that one out. I think I got an idea as a player, but yeah, I don't know Latin, so.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Oh no. Do you have you could do maybe intelligence or cryptology?
I
got
do have
luck.
cryptography, actually.
You got luck.
Cryptography, yeah, that's what it meant.
I have 20 in it. I don't have much luck anymore, guys. I'm sorry.
It sounded like you
it's
take
mostly
pictures
gone.
of Bigfoot. Cryptography, that's like taking pictures of
No.
Bigfoot and the Jersey Devil
All
and all
right,
that jazz.
come on.
Ooh, it's a 20 or 20. Do you want to use
that one I can
luck?
do. That one I have enough luck to make work.
Okay. So roughly translated, when you kind of put it together, it roughly translates to be careful or be wary. When the 6 bond inside, the circle will break.
Isn't that a nursery rhyme?
And the T and the S for the 6 are capitalized.
Okay.
Can I ask for the 6? Okay.
So we need to have group therapy on the island, and then that will put Cthulhu back to sleep.
Or group.
You breaking up, John?
I have this feeling that it's a good thing that he broke up, considering what I think he was about to say.
Yeah, I think it was for the best.
I would never. How very dare you? I've never in my life.
So it's the 6 as in referring to the 6 that are important in this, obviously.
The 6
and then
that
when
were
the
separate,
bond
the 6 that were connected
breaks, what was it again?
When the 6 bond within, the circle breaks.
When the 6 bond inside, the circle will break.
Bond inside the circle.
And it is prefaced by be careful. It roughly translates to careful or weary. So it's definitely warning someone that if the 6 bond inside of something, the circle will break.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that just broke my brain because my brain decided to pump out when the 6 bond, the circle will break.
I'm stuck listening to that now.
Nice,
Yep.
wonderful lullaby.
You are very welcome.
Yeah, so whatever the circle is for this final ritual, we probably should not all be in it, is my guess here.
Or we should all be in it. If it's saying, hey, when the 6 you put in the circle, if they bond together, then the circle breaks. Watch out for that. Shouldn't that be what we're looking for?
That's a very good point. Never mind.
I mean, the last person I bonded with ended up dead with the word traitor above their bed, so...
Yeah, I just hope
we've had bonding moments, Abernath.
This bond that it speaks of is more of us just all in the same place, and not all of us becoming the same mass, so to speak, like the thing.
It's gonna be all.
That's where my brain's going with it.
I think.
No, you can't quote the thing because we don't have the thing.
We don't.
facilitators,
I'm doing that
no.
as a player, not as a
I
character.
think
Okay. I was
at
like,
that
is there
point,
an
if you
thing?
are you sharing that with the class, by the way, or no?
What the translation thing is for this, yeah. So essentially, yeah, that it's we have to all get into the circle together.
I think
Wait.
Barrett will
To
click
break
on the
this thing.
walkie-talkie and says, "Don't worry. From the sounds of it, when the six bond within, that just means that when the time comes, the six of us have to trust each other." And then clicks off and just keeps on driving, as the awkward silence just fills everywhere else.
Yes, John.
Actually, Andrew, you can reference the thing in character because the thing is based on John W. Campbell Jr.'s 1938 novella,
Right.
Who Goes There? And so I'm
That's
actually going
right.
to get on
And
the
I probably
walkie-talkie
read it
and
as a
say,
character, honestly.
like, from
Yeah.
Who Goes There? From the
Yeah.
novel from 38. I read it during the war.
Michael likely read it too, honestly, given what
Yeah.
he's interested in.
All right. So
I
we are going to do another time skip. You guys
Mhm.
just pedal to the metal, get there.
kind of feel like it's the old Adam West Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah.
There's definitely
Um,
scenes in the mid time of like Theo and Barrett driving in the middle of the night while everyone else is sleeping,
Right.
and like the Jeep starts going off, and it's like, "Wake up, Theo!" And then
Yeah.
the truck starts going back. "Wake up, Barrett!"
So speaking of that, so
Right.
because of that, like you guys are trying to get there as fast as you can because you are on a deadline. You're trying to get there
Mhm.
before the full moon. At some point, you guys have to stop for gas. You need to stop to stretch your legs. The Jeep like blows a tire, so you guys have to like do
Mhm.
like fix the tire, that sort of thing. For the most part, though, between all of that, like it is pretty smooth sailing. You don't really run into any other trouble besides like having to do some maintenance on the cars on the way there. You do pull up pretty much just in time. Like you guys are kind of cutting it a little bit close. You're not really sure how you managed to lose so much time, but when you pull up to where this is supposed to be, it is nighttime. You're pulling up to nighttime. You do see the full moon in the sky. Are you guys just kind of, because you guys are trying to get to the ritual, right? Are you guys just trying to like get there to see what's going on? What are you guys doing?
Silence.
It's the lights going. Yeah, I would say put on the radio. Barrett, what do you think? Balls to the wall. Actually, there's probably a bit more appropriate statement for that time of year, for that time of the world, but just blast in there and see what happens.
I will
I'm like,
say this.
The only ladies you've had around you are Charlie and the doctor, and the doctor will just reiterate that she's Australian over and over again. They have
You
no
will,
language.
you will actually have to get out of the vehicles and go on foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
You cannot actually drive all the way up into the village. You actually have to stop and like hike about a half a mile up to the village.
And just to confirm, we can check this when we're like a little bit just outside the village. How developed does this village look? Does it look like a work
you can't
camp
tell,
set around?
you can't tell until you get up there. It is it is surrounded by trees. When you guys kind of pull off of the road, it is like there is like one of those like barricades. Like you actually have to like stop, and there's no road that leads up. You actually like have to get out and like hike up there. As you kind of get closer, you do notice that at some point all sound just kind of stops. You don't hear birds, you don't hear voices, you don't really hear anything. It's just dead silence. You do see what looks like a couple of huts in a circle, but they're very like rustic huts. They're huts. They don't look they're not like houses or anything like that. They basically look like maybe 1 or 2 room like little huts.
Anything that we can tell of how long they've been there? Does it look like they're like been weathered for generations and repaired
No.
things, or does it look like they're
A couple of years.
Okay.
Maybe a couple of years.
So yeah, I guess Barrett will turn around to everyone else and be like, "We don't know what we're gonna see in there. We just got to stay focused. We have one job: break the circle. Everything else we can handle after that. We gotta get the circle broken. Because didn't it say, like, even in the initial part of the thing, don't break the circle?
In the actual like book for the ritual, it tells them not to break the circle.
Yeah.
And then in the like phrase that he found, it says when the 6 get in the circle, or when the 6 go inside, the circle will break.
Yeah.
So as you guys kind of, okay, let me ask you this: are you just like running, or are you being kind of quiet until you get closer?
So I got a stealth of 20.
I'm not going to make you roll a stealth check.
Okay.
I would say that
Well, let me say this. You said everything goes quiet. Do we hear chanting?
I need you to answer my question first. Right now you don't. Right now you don't
Okay.
hear anything.
So yeah,
I
right
will-
now if we don't hear
Yeah.
chanting, we'll probably be going slower and stealthier.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's one of those things, like, if we hear the ritual happening
Yeah.
and we're not in place, it is the oh shit moment, but until then we
Yeah.
don't want to get caught with our pants
Okay.
down.
Yeah.
That is the question that I needed
Also,
answered. Okay. Yeah.
as we approach, Theo is going to basically disappear into the. I mean, Barrett will probably pick up on him because he's got a ridiculous spot hidden.
I do.
Barrett will probably spot him at various times, but Theo is going to use his training ability as a soldier to effectively run a screen around the group, knowing that he probably can move quite a bit faster than them, just to make sure that nothing is trying to come in and kidnap everybody, because there's always the chance. Theo is
Of it being a
concerned.
tarp.
Well, Theo is concerned that we're being led here so that we're at the right spot to be part of the ritual, and eventually at some point we'll be bushwhacked. So he's trying to run a screen around everything
does
to
Theo
prevent
talk
that.
about that at any time before this? Because if he does, we'd point out that all six rituals of the sigil need to happen on the same night, so they're all happening tonight as well.
Yep.
So they
Yeah,
can
it's-
expect
it's-
Everything is happening at the same time.
No, honestly, he probably would just say, "I'll run a screen," and
That's fine.
nobody, and maybe Aberneth knows what that means, and Tom's not even sure if that's the right phrase for,
It is tonight.
yeah,
Right.
but that type of thing.
It is
But
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
Aberneth probably knows what that is, but nobody else will, and he just goes and does
Essentially
it.
Overwatch of some kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a bit. I would like to give an interesting way to answer your question, because I could go either way, heads or tails.
I'm not playing that game.
Ah.
Being that they need
Suspicious.
a stone altar to do this,
Mhm.
where do I see where one of those would be located? Because if there's not a spot within these huts, then they're
Well,
not going to be
remember the
doing
huts are in
it
a
by
circle.
these
I'm
huts.
guessing it's in the center, but we have.
Yeah, you need to get closer.
We don't have
to
line
be
of
able to
sight
see.
yet? Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta get in there to figure it
So-
out.
So as you guys, all will be revealed, I promise. As you guys are getting closer,
We're just
Definitely
dancing
going to try
around
to be as
Isabits
quiet
with,
as
like, a
possible.
knife fight. Like,
As- as you guys are kind of approaching where you know the village to be, at a certain point you stop hearing anything. You don't hear your own footsteps. You don't hear voices. You don't hear animals, crickets chirping. You don't hear any of that. You don't hear wind. It's almost like you are in a bubble. And as you get to a certain point, the only thing that you hear is a very high-pitched whistle. And then you see ahead of you, and I mean, it's a good ways ahead of you, you see torches light up in a circle, and you see 6 people standing in a circle with one person in the center, kneeling in front of an altar. They're all wearing robes. The person in the center of the altar hears the whistle, looks up, and says, "It's time."
Oh no.
Cool. Love
And
that. Love that.
All of
energy.
you hear the chanting start. The first thing you hear is the Stamus Ante Altair. The ritual has begun.
Ah,
Okay.
The next words that are spoken: Clavis, Sanguinis, and Manu.
We're running.
Yeah.
Is everyone running?
Okay, Barrett is running, I will say.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm gonna start.
what is the distance to when at this point? What is the distance?
You are close enough to be able to see the people and see the stone altar. But you would still need to they're chanting, so you're going to need to get there quickly to get into the circle to stop this if that's what you're doing.
No, I'm asking range wise in yards, so I can check what my
See if you can shoot them.
yeah
I will ask you, are you sure you want to do that?
the soldier, yes.
Okay.
Because then he ends, because that then ends the situation. Yes, the 303. I thought I grabbed the Enfield. Let's
Okay.
see.
You are in range if you would like to attempt to shoot.
Yep, he would
Okay.
he would drop down and fire.
Is there anything in that book about blood spilling being bad for the circle?
Circle has to be salt and blood. We haven't gotten close enough yet to see if they've already made a circle of salt and blood.
They would have.
Or if-
They would have. If it needed to be purified before the ritual
Okay.
started, it would have already been done. This ritual is happening.
Yeah. Barrett, go to try to tackle the elder if you can spot which one is the elder.
Barrett's plan is to try to like baseball slide in through the circle, breaking it and hitting the elder. That is his plan, like full on soccer tackle, and then do
That's
that.
fine. Just one second.
I completely understand.
Yeah, and I'm going to be trying to run up there with
next
him.
thing Barrett is doing.
Yeah, at least we were back
and
on the deck on the yacht.
Aberneth and Lottie, are you guys? Or Aberneth and Priscilla, are you running as well?
yeah, I'm gonna run.
Wow.
So
So
I'll let this play out, and then I'll say what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So remember when I said you guys are in a bubble? This is a riff on the spell that you learned, Michael. This is a pacifist sphere. No violence is allowed inside this bubble. So when you fire that gun, it actually blows you. It blows back onto you. It doesn't do any damage to you, but it just kind of like knocks you back a little bit.
Okay. All right. So that is out. Then I would get up and start running.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I know of any way to break that?
Well, real quick. So, Aberneth, were you running?
No.
Are you sure?
I kneel down. Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to give any context, but there is a thing I'm doing. I'm not purposely just stopping, but
Okay.
Yes. Oh wait. Oh,
Um,
interesting.
So, as all of you are kind of running, the gun kind of knocks you back. Like I said, it doesn't do any damage. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't knock you prone or anything like that. It just kind of like startles you and like pushes you back a little bit.
Yep.
It's almost like a weird misfire. And you take off running. What did you say you were doing, Aberneth? I'm sorry. You said you were going to do something.
Yeah, I am going to walk slowly then as everyone else is walking because I don't really want to be by myself as I do this. And I'm going to take my cane and take the sword out of the cane. And as I walk, I'm slowly in the ground using the tip of my cane to write Aberneth's confession on the ground.
Okay. Okay. So as Aberneth is behind all of you, right as you, the majority of you actually get to the circle, as Aberneth kind of takes a couple of steps forward, right before his second foot, like his back foot takes that last step, you see all of the cultists stop. They stop chanting. They all turn and they face you. The person kneeling in the center stands up and just puts the hood down. And you see this very pretty young woman, and she's holding a vial in her hand, and it looks like a vial of blood. And she smiles. And as all of this is happening, you see a bright light, a circle behind just behind Abernath. As his foot steps down, it lights up around you. And she smiles and she waves and she drops the blood vial on the altar. And as the bright light gets brighter and brighter and the world starts to kind of blur, and you guys all feel like you're being lifted up into the ground or lifted up into the air, the world becomes dark and you all hit the ground with a thud. And that's where we're going to stop, because congratulations, you have just reached the finale.
Dun dun dun.
Of the world, or
Yes. Depends on what we do next week.
Yeah.
are we in the kickline portion of the Rocky Horror Picture Show right now?
You don't know. If Katie was going to be here, I was going to describe, if this is the route that you guys took, I was going to describe like how you guys woke up and like what you see, but she's not here, so I'm going to wait and do that next time.
Okay.
But yes, the altar that they were all standing around was a decoy altar. They just needed you guys to come in a little bit further to get into the real circle.
Yep.
I should have done the spot hidden. That's what I should have done.
Don't worry, guys. As long as we trust each other, we'll all get through this.
They
no.
They
the last
knew
person that trusted me, I smothered with a pillow. Are you sure you want to go that route?
They knew everyone. They knew everyone's backgrounds. They knew that there was going to be somebody was going to try to shoot them. Somebody was probably going to try to stab them. So they took steps in order to make sure that you guys were going to have to come in closer to be able to do that. But they also didn't want any of you to get hurt. So they do not want any of you hurt. So they wanted to make sure that in this bubble of protection that everybody was protected and nobody could get hurt, so that they could do the thing that they needed.
So the best thing would have been to do is to shoot Abernath.
No, the best thing that would have been done is would have not stepped foot on this entire continent and just gone straight to the end game. Because then we would have gone to the end game on our terms with our planning.
Yep.
To be fair, though, if you had not have translated that book, if you had not read any of that, you wouldn't have known to really do any of that.
Elizabeth, you should know Brutus is also upset with you right now.
Yeah.
I figured. I know. I knew that everybody was going to be mad at me, and I apologize. But
that's okay, because coming up this next Friday, we have the beginning of summer school.
I know.
Where you will face zombies, so it's perfectly fine.
We'll face zombies and singing.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's singing for emotions, so it can be internal. I'll still give you the creativity for that, but there's a reason I asked in the application, to give some music acts.
So I'm hoping that we will be back next week with the finale, but I need all the players there. So if nobody can make it next week, I think next week is the 20th. If we don't have everybody, we are going to push it back to the 3rd, or even beyond, because like I said, I need everybody there.
I wouldn't be able to be the 3rd because that's Gen Con. Actually, Katie wouldn't be either.
Right. Yeah.
Also, no, third is still a Saturday. So it'd be the 21st, 28th, or the 4th. But
whatever, close enough. 21st. Yeah. So it's either going to be the 21st, or we're going to push it to the 11th of August.
Yeah. What she's saying is follow Shadow of Nox on all the different socials, join the Discord. Announcements will be made.
That is what I was trying to say. Yes. Yeah. But yes, so we are at the finale. We have 1, maybe 2 sessions left. If you guys need an extra session to get through it, but I don't actually think that. Actually, I take that back. You guys might. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. But thank you all for watching. Thanks to all the players. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you're not too mad at me for tonight, and I hope you're not mad at me at the end of the finale.
Why would we be mad at you? We're mad at Abernath. That's different.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I mean, what
you're
did
not mad
Abernath
enough
really
at
do?
Abernath quite yet. You haven't figured it out yet.
Don't worry, guys. We'll get through this with the
My
power of
character
friendship.
hasn't figured it out, but
Yeah.
I got a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, what? Okay, we gotta end the stream because John
Yeah,
is
so
just
ne-
smiling creepy.
Shadowbox is
right.
done next
Yeah.
tomorrow. Is
If we don't,
is
nobody's
Echoes
gonna be
of
able to sleep
OSS?
tonight.
Yeah, so tomorrow is more Call of Cthulhu with
Mhm.
Andrew running the game. I don't think there's Shadowrun this Tuesday. Is that correct?
No, there's not.
Okay. Tuesday or Wednesday, check out our our YouTube for a podcast release. And then we'll be back here
Thursday's Gen
hopefully
Con.
Sunday. Thursday's Gen Con.
Yep.
And
Over at Gen Con
Friday will be
TV.
summer school.
Yeah, 8
Friday will be the
p.m.
first
Yeah,
episode of summer school.
take a look at actually, yeah, 8 p.m. and Gen Con TV. You get to see what the runners on Shadows of Nox set up last week.
We did a bad. We made things explode.
Or good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good, but we did a bad. There's a building that no longer exists.
Right.
Well,
It's not the arcology building, is it?
It is
It's
not
in there
No,
somewhere.
no. That would be a bad thing if that didn't exist.
But you'll have to watch on
Yes.
Thursday at Gen Con TV to find out because you don't want to spoil too much for everybody because then
Right.
nobody will want to come watch because they'll know everything. Although actually I take that back because I'm sure there's other things up your sleeve that will surprise everybody. But yeah, I think that's it. We'll be back hopefully on Wednesday days, Sunday for more Call of Cthulhu. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we're
All
gonna
right.
head out. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Pleasant dreams.